Okay, good morning, students. So now we will continue our chapter, sources of energy, and we will look some good topics today, and it will be a very interesting class. So let's continue. So yes, moving on to our next slide. Let's see. Okay, so in these slides there are various pictures, and you have to observe these pictures, and then you have to share your observations, like what you can see in these pictures. Yes. Okay, you can write in the comment box below what all things you are seeing in these pictures. Yes, there is some coal, there is wood, petrol, and the dam. These are the different sources of energies. Yes, you all answered it correctly. These are some different sources of energy, right? So now, are like these sources are all these sources of energies from modern era, or they are from centuries ago, like were they present in older centuries also, or they are just all the modern methods of energy production? Okay, yes, yes, they are not modern, they are like centuries old. We have been using these all different sources of energies from many centuries ago, right? So now I will give you the rights. What you have to do is there is a table in front of you, and you have to write the different sources of energies which we can use again and again, and which we cannot use again and again. According to you, which energies do you found we can use it again and again? Okay, like we can use the solar energies again and again. Yes, very good. Okay, what else we can use? Which energy we can use again and again? Okay, we can use water energy. We get energy from water. Okay, yes, we can use it. What about the energies we cannot use again and again? Like the energy we get from coal, we get from petroleum, because after some time they will be finished, like diesel. So these are the different energies that cannot be used again and again. So yes, this was all about the different energy sources and their uses. Okay. So now what we are going to study today is conventional sources of energy. So we will now see this topic in more details. We will go ahead and see some more details about this topic, right? So what according to you is conventional source of energy? Uh, So you can just define this conventional sources of energy in the chat box, and I will give you 5 seconds. After that, I will explain what we mean by conventional sources of energy. Okay. Yes, I can see some good responses. So yes, students, you all are right. Conventional sources of energies are like there are some sources of energies that have been used for centuries, right? And these types of sources of energies are known as conventional sources of energy, right? So now we will move on ahead to our next slide. So let's see, what can you see in our next slide? What are the two different types of energy sources? Okay, yes, very good. The first is the renewable source of energy, and second is the non-renewable resources of energy. So, what all energy sources can you see under renewable? There is the solar energy, and then there is the thermal or water energy, sorry, the energy we get from water, and then like we can see the wind energy that we get from the windmills, right? So what are renewable resources according to you? Yes, renewable resources are some energies we can use again and again, and we know that they will not finish so quickly. So these are the renewable sources of energy. Now coming to the non-renewable resources, what you can see through the pictures is the fuel we use, and the energy we get from the fuels comes under the non-renewable, and the crude oil, right? The petrol, the diesel, kerosene, the energy we get from these are non-renewable. So what is the definition for non-renewable? Some energies are limited and cannot be used again and again. Okay, so means they will be finished after some period of time. Like we are saying that we should use petrol and other fossil fuels in a limited amount or in a sustainable amount. Why? Because after some time, if we are not using it carefully, they all will be finished. So this is one of the main reason of using these energy sources carefully, right? So yes, this was all about the conventional sources of energy, is renewable resources of energy and non-renewable resources of energy. So now let's move to the curiosity question, right? Okay. So now comes the curiosity question. The question is, if we can use renewable sources of energy repeatedly, then what would be the characteristics of renewable resources of energy? Like why we are using only the renewable resources of energy again and again, and why not the non-renewable resources? What would be the characteristics? Like according to me, the characteristics, like they may be like they are firstly that they do not get finished easily. They are more comfortable to use. Like they will not get finished even if we are using it in a larger amount, in more amount than the non-renewable resources of energy. So this is one of the main factors that we consider while using the renewable resources of energy. So this was the answer of the question. Okay, so now we will move on ahead and see one main question of the topic we just discussed. You have to choose the odd one out among these, right? First is solar energy, wood, coal, or petroleum. Now I will be giving you 5 seconds to write your answers and then we will discuss the answer. Okay, so now you have to give your answers. Yes, the correct answer here is the solar energy. Why? Because solar energy is, yes, very good. Yes, solar energy is a renewable resources of a renewable resource of energy, whereas others are non-renewable, right? These are non-renewable and solar is renewable. That's why it is odd one out. This was all about energy. Okay, one more question I have prepared for you. Let's see. So now these are the match the following. You have to match it. You can write in the chat box like which among these comes under the renewable resources and which comes under the non-renewable source of energies, right? So first one, the energy we get from water is coming from is the renewable resources of energy, and wood is non-renewable. Coal is also non-renewable. Yes, very good. What about the solar energy? It is renewable resources of energy, right? So yes, you all answered it correctly. So now I think you all are clear with the concept of conventional sources of energy. And these conventional sources of energy are of two types. What are these two types? You can see on the screen also. Yes, very good. The two types are renewable resources of energy and non-renewable resources of energy. Yes, this was all about it. Now we will move on ahead and see some more good topics, right? Oh, so now as we move on ahead, so now in front of you, you can see a picture. You have to observe it for 5 seconds and then I will ask you the observations, like what you observed in the picture. Okay, you can tell the time. If you want to write something, you can write in the chat box. Okay, first is this picture, second is this, third, fourth, fifth. So yes, what did you observe in the picture? Yes, very good. Yes, you can observe that the pig is dying and it is slowly and gradually decomposing, we can say. Yes, it is slowly and gradually decomposing. Okay, so now we will move on to our next picture and see what is happening in our next picture. So yes, what is happening in this picture now? Yes, in the first picture, in the first apple, we can see it is a normal apple that we can eat. Slowly and gradually is what is happening. Yes, very good. The apple is changing its color and also its shape is getting changed and it is getting rotten. It is rotting and it is again going through the process of decomposition. Yes, very good. So now what you can figure out by the process of decomposition, what happens in the process of decomposition? Yes, the animals or the plants or the organisms, they slowly and steadily start to rot, and then this causes the organism at the end to decompose. Okay, this was the whole process of decomposition. Why we are reading this decomposition and how this decomposition is helping in the energy formation, we will see it right now. Okay, so let's see. So the topic that we are about to study is now fossil fuels, right? So how are fossil fuel formed now? It is related to the decomposition process. Okay, we will see some more details, right? Before going into the topic, we will see some more details. So now there is a pie chart in front of you. You have to share your observations. I will give you 5 seconds, observe it carefully, and then you have to share your observations. Okay, and till the time, if you want to write something, you can write in the chat box. Okay, I can see the right responses. Yes, this pie chart is showing the major sources of energy for our requirements in India. Like, so which sources of energy is most needed? It is coal, right? As you can see, the red area is so big. What about, and the other energy sources are petroleum and natural gases, and hydro energy, and the nuclear energy, and then the wind energy. So these are the different energy sources, right, that are required in our country. We get energy from these different types of sources. So let's see some more details. Okay. So yes, so now we will see some more details about the fossil fuels, right? So yes, fossil fuels has done industrialization and made our life easy. And how does this happen? We will see some more details now, right? But these fossil fuels were formed over millions of years ago, and there are only a limited reserves of these fossil fuels, right? The fossil fuels are non-renewable. As you all know that there are limited reserves. Limited reserve means there is a small quantity present, and that's why this fossil fuels comes under the non-renewable resources of energy, right? Okay, so this was all about fossil fuels. We will see some more details. 2 more points are there. So sources of energy, so we need to conserve them, right? So these are fossil fuels are non-renewable resources of energy. That is why we need to conserve them, because if we do not conserve them, they will finish in no time, and we need them. We need them for various works. So we need to use these sources of energy, these fossil fuels, in a very sustainable way, in a very clever way, so that it does not get finished so easily, right? Uh, the way in which we are using right now, without any limit, it is causing very much harm to the nature, as well as the quantity of this fossil fuels are getting reduced and reduced. So if we continue our usage, so careless usage, it will finish in no time. So that is the main reason why we have to focus on using these fossil fuels properly, so that our future generations can also use them. So this was all about fossil fuels. So now we will move on ahead. Okay, so now comes the curiosity question. And what is this curiosity question this time? Is what are the disadvantages of using fossil fuels? Like, we saw many advantages of using fossil fuel, but what are the disadvantages? Okay, what is happening nowadays? You can, based on this question, like, it is related to somewhat pollution. Yes, yes, you all give the right answer. If we use more fossil fuels, it causes, like, so much energy is produced when we burn these fossil fuels, that it is causing pollution nowadays. And also global warming is also one of the disadvantages caused by these burning of fossil fuels. And there are many other disadvantages. You have to, if anything comes to your mind, and you have to answer it in the chat box. For now we will move forward, right? Okay. So coming to our next question. So compare and contrast fossil fuels and the sun as direct source of energy. How will you compare and contrast the fossil fuels and the sun as direct source of energy? You have to write your answers in the comment box below. Till then, we will come to the next question. You have to choose the odd one out here, right? Which one is the odd one out? Petrol, wood, coal, or natural gas? Okay. Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. What will be the odd one out here? It will be the natural gas. Why? Because it is a renewable resource. Like, yes, it is causing, rather than calling it a renewable resource, it is causing lesser pollution than both of the, like the three of these. So that's why natural gas is odd one out among these three, or among these four, right? Okay, so now we will move on ahead. So if you have any doubt, I'm giving you some time. You can ask right now. No, then we will move forward, right? Okay, so now I will be giving you time of 5 seconds. If you have any doubt, you can discuss it right now. Okay, so now we will move forward. I think you have no doubt. It's good to know that you all are understanding what I am teaching. Okay. So now we will, as we are moving forward, what do you see in the slide in front of you? What two objects are you seeing? Okay. Yes. One is the pressure cooker. Yes, very good. What else? What else are you seeing? Second is the ball. Yes, very good. Second is the ball that we are seeing. So now you must be thinking, why am I showing you both of these things instead of showing you any source of energy? We will see it, right? We will see it right now. Okay. Now there is a little activity that is given in your NCRTs, like how we can use both of these things, like the pressure cooker and ball, to create or to convert one source of energy into another, right? So what happens is, like if we are using a pressure cooker, right, and we are giving or applying heat to it, so all, as you all know, the steam is produced from the pressure cooker, and we are using the steam to move a turbine that we made on our own with the help of tennis ball, which is fitted with metal sheets, right? These are the metal sheets. These are the metal sheets, and this circular region is the tennis ball. So we made a turbine, and this turbine is then connected to a mechanical machine called the dynamo. Here, the function of dynamo is it is converting the thermal energy, which we are getting from the pressure cooker, into electrical energy. Then this dynamo is the energy that we are getting from the dynamo is helping to light the bulb. So this whole process, as we saw it, is showing how one form of energy can be converted into another form. So are you all clear, like how we can convert one form of energy into other? Yes, very good. Okay, so yes, so now we will move forward and see some more details, right? Okay, if till the time we are moving forward, if you have any doubt, you can ask the questions in the chat box. Okay, so this was all about this experiment. So the topic that we are discussing, that we will be discussing right now, is turbine for generating electricity. How the turbine is helping in the generation of electricity, right? So let's see some details. Okay. So the turbine is used for generating electricity. The simplest turbines have one moving part, a rotor blade assembly. The moving fluid acts on the blades to spin them, just as the steam was acting in the earlier activity, and impart energy to the rotor. Thus, we see that basically we need to move the fan. Fan means here the tennis ball that was attached with metal slates. So this is the fan. The rotor blade with speed which would turn the shaft of the dynamo and convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy, right? So what energy was converting into what now? Mechanical energy is getting converted into electrical energy, right? Okay. So now let's see some more details. For example, power plant. In power plant, what happens is fossil fuels are burnt every day in power station to heat up. So this is one example where mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So this is one of the example where turbines are used. Okay, so now we will move on ahead. And there are some more details. So now comes the curiosity question for you all, right? In this curiosity, okay, let me smaller down the screen. Yes. So the curiosity question now is, yes, on returning home, Neha, a class 9 student, suddenly noticed that her six-year-old brother Niresh watching TV in the afternoon with all lights and fans on, right? On. She noticed that the windows were closed and the curtains were drawn, which made the room dark. Naresh had put on the lights. She calmly opened the windows, drew the curtain aside, which illuminated the air and irradiated the room. Then she made Naresh put off the lights and made him understand the reason behind her action, right? So now, okay. So now, yes. First question is, list the two values exhibited by Neha. So what are the two moral values that Neha showed? You can write in the comment box below. I will give you 5 seconds and then we will discuss both the questions. Okay, yes. Yes, she is quick thinker. Yes, very good. She is a good observer. Yes. She observed her surrounding very well and took a solution. Yes, you all are right. Now coming to the second question, what you have to do is you have to explain how she tried to give same values to her brother. What did she do? Yes, she turned off the lights and showed her concern for the proper use of the resources of energy, as if she will respect if she will respect and minimize the use of energy, then only the other people around her will respect and know the importance of using the energy in limited amounts, only the amount that they need, not wasting it. So this was all about this activity. So now we will move on ahead. There is a question now. So the question is, you have to give example where turbine could be used. In which industries it can be used. We just discussed right now. Turbines are also used in the dams also to generate electricity. And turbines are used where? In the wind, like generating electricity in the wind power plant. There also turbines are used. Yes, very good. So now you all gave the right answer. So now coming to the recapitulation part, we all discussed today the different topics like the conventional sources of energy. They were of two types. What were they? Yes, very good. First was renewable and second was non-renewable. So what are fossil fuels according to you? These are the fuels formed millions of years ago by dead organisms, animals and plants, right? So give examples of the fossil fuels. What are the examples? Like coal, petroleum, crude oil. So these are the examples. So what are the basic parts used for generating electricity? Like there should be a turbine, there should be a rotating blade. So these were the important and basic parts to generate electricity in a electric plant. So these were the parts, right? So now coming on to your homework part. So there are some questions, and in these questions, you have to solve these questions. Okay, what you have to do is first you have to make a pie chart of energies that is being used by the countries like America, Russia, and Africa in larger amount. And second question is make a model to demonstrate the process of thermoelectric production. It is given in the 14.2 activity in your NCRTs, and make a video or get a picture clicked while demonstrating it, right? So this was all about today. If you have any doubt, right now you have time, you can ask in the comment box. We will wait for 10 seconds and then we will end our class here. Okay, so yes, so I think there is no doubt. So yes, now we will end our class here. So thank you for attending, and we will meet in our next class and we will discuss some more important topics of this chapter. Okay, thank you.